Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to some more Football Manager 2023 and some more. I am the Journeyman and I come from down your way and I can play FM23. Yes, I can. Right. Oh dear. That was homage to a great YouTuber called Haig Yorkie back in the day. I used to love watching his videos, but yeah, he used to do Journeyman series on FIFA many years ago. So I'm talking sort of FIFA 13, FIFA 14, and he used to sing that at the start of his Journeyman episode, and I just remembered it, and I thought that would be absolutely hilarious. But there you go. We're not going to make a habit of it, but today we are back with the transfer review, transfer special for Season 3. I said review because I'm looking at the screen now. We're going to do our end-of-season review with Chester. It was a decent season, and hopefully we'll be able to push on and do some decent signings this summer, keep plenty of our big players at the club and push forward next season into a full-on promotion push. So I'm going to get rid of my ugly mug for now. We're going to enjoy the season review in its entirety. So first of all, the new arrivals. Signing of the season was Joe Thomas, who was one of my boys. 22-year-old attacking fullback, scored a goal and 5 assists. And averaged a 7.06, which is very, very good. Some of the other signings we brought in, Lee Angle, Reece Stitch in there as well. Jay Buchan didn't really play too much, only 6 appearances since joining. Joe Hardy in there as well. Transfers out, Johnson Gyamfi was the only one that I was responsible for. On to the season's results then. English FA Cup. Obviously, we didn't play any FA Cup matches with Chester. They went out in the second qualifying round to Needham Market. We are going to have to make sure we do well in the FA Cup next year. Into the FA Trophy. Again, we beat Scarborough Athletic, but lost to Stevenage on penalties. I think, was it penalty Jeffs? It might well have been, but yeah, we were knocked out in the end by Stevenage Borough. Moments to remember. Biggest win was 4-0 away from home to Curzon Ashton. Match to remember was a 4-1 victory against Southport. And the goal of the season came in that match as well, with Kellen Hickinson scoring a top draw goal from the Blues as he hits a placed shot from 26 yards. You used to be able to have a look at those, but you don't seem to be able to do that now. Into the finances, obviously reputation hasn't really changed over the last season. Sponsorship and broadcast revenue slightly up, but quite a few have gone down in the end, with corporate hospitality, competition prize money and matchday commercial revenue all going down, which was a shame. Merchandise, Hickinson sold the most shirts, Angle, Glendon, Hardy and Osborne selling some shirts as well. That was our best 11. Will Stanway in goal with Footy, Burke, Williams and Cranston in defence. Ollie Dyson, who the hell's Ollie Dyson? Yeah, I think that might be a bit of a glitch, although maybe not. Who the hell is this guy? Did seem to play for us until we took over, so that's a bit weird. Glendon and Ashby in the middle, and Kellen Hickinson starting behind Darren Stevenson and Cole Hall up top. Accolades then, so obviously I didn't get any manager awards, but fans player of the season is Harrison Burke. Young player Harrison Burke, signing of the season Joe Thomas. Goal of the season Kellen Hickinson. Top goal scorer was Kellen Hickinson with 22 as well. Most assists was George Glendon with 7. Most player of the match awards, Kellen Hickinson with 9. Highest average rating, 7.1 for Harrison Burke. And most passes completed per 90 minutes, Matty Williams, 60 per 90. Obviously, some record breakers in there as well. History in the making then. Your hard work and effort paid off or paid off on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season awards ceremony. Once Chester got rolling early in the season, it looked hard to stop them. Chester. They say it's important to get off to a good start, but it rings as true as ever for Chester. And here's our dynamic manager timeline. Now, of course, because we got sacked, we we now have two clubs in there. So you can see all of the stuff there for Kidderminster Harriers. And if we keep sort of scrolling to the right, you can see collect your things. Kidderminster have parted company with Joe Hannard. And then there's some good stuff there. Okay, very cool. Invest in the best. Harrison Burke. 2-year contract. Very, very happy. I don't like this unemployed now. I hope that's not true. Let's finish that. No, we are still employed just about. But there you go. Let's have a little look at the supporter profile then. So be competitive against Wrexham, be competitive against Tranmere, reach the Vanarama North playoffs, and that is apparently required, which is interesting. Board delighted with club vision progress. We can see all of this stuff now, so we can see what the board are going to want going into next season. So let's go into the club vision. They want us to work within the wage budget, grow the club's reputation. Those are the two things that they want us to focus on. But what is required next season is reaching the playoffs. So there's a bit of pressure already on us going into next year. We'll accept that club vision and we'll go and discuss that with the team. So let's see. There's the playoffs. Let's go and do playoffs. Very good. They're happy with that. Let's raise our hands. That's exactly the sort of reaction we were after. Yeah, we'll have some promises towards next season. Very good. Perfect. Okie dokie then. Final thing to do before we press on and start looking at signings is basically renew any contracts this year that we feel we need to. So let's sort it by average rating. And then we'll look at doing some contract negotiations. So Harrison Burke, luckily for us, he's going to be in for the next 2 years. So that's absolutely brilliant. Kellen Hickinson is already secured for next year as well. Joe Thomas, as I say, he's been a good signing for us. He's improving in all aspects as well. So I think he deserves another year in the team. We can get rid of any promises. He's going to be a star player, apparently. So let's have a little look at his current contract. So he's on £300 a week. Now, a little bit of a tip for you in non-league. I might have mentioned it last summer. Get rid of all of these bonuses and clauses because it can really clog up your wage budget. It's something that I've done for a little while and just basically have a zero tolerance policy on any sort of bonuses because it does cost you a hell of a lot of money. There you go. We got him for $450. So he is getting a bit of a wage rise. It's not, it's not the end of the world. His Sheffield Wednesday contract is ending. So we're going to put him on a 3-month shortlist. Do we think he would be interested in joining us, realistically? I don't know. I don't know where it says anything about transfer interest. Usually it's in this one, isn't it? No, can't find anything. That's fine. But we'll keep an eye on Footy because it would be great if we could keep him into next season. Now, Lee Angle, he's 29 years old, of course. Scored 9 goals in 17 starts. Was obviously playing football for Bradford City in League 2 earlier in the season. I'm tempted to bring him in and see what he can do. Give him 1 more year. We'll see what sort of wage he's going to want. What's he currently on? So he's on £325 a week at the minute. Let's remove and exclude. Yeah, 350. Let's go for 400 then. Yeah, that's okay. So he's got an extra year. Will Stanway, was very impressed with him in between the sticks. He's only 22 years old. I think somebody important to keep around even as a backup goalkeeper. I do think we need another goalkeeper going into next season, but very happy to bring him along, and we can get rid of a lot of these, which is good as well. And he doesn't want any sort of wage rise, so that's fantastic for us actually. So there you go. We've reduced a lot of money from the bonuses there. Matty Williams, another player that came into the side and did very well. He's 23 years old. Definitely want to keep him about for next year. So let's go and redo his contract as well. Just double check his existing terms. Yeah, £3.25 a week. He wants £3.25. Well, we can give you 25 quid more if you get rid of all your bonuses. So this should really help us financially become a lot more stable if we can root out all of those awful bonuses. Looks like Darren Stevenson, he's joining another team at the end of the year. I don't remember this happening. When did that happen? I don't know when that got arranged. But yeah, Darren Stevenson is off. That's a bit of an annoyance because he would have probably been somebody I'd kept about. But hey, it is what it is. Right, George Glendon, he's had a decent season. Was pretty much ever present. Has been at Chester for a good few years now. So let's enter new contract discussions. I'm absolutely fine doing this on my own without talking to the agent. I think that can be a very dangerous thing sometimes. He actually is happy taking a bit of a wage cut here. That's what we like to see. Hey, nice. So a bit of a wage cut for George Glendon. Nice. John Ashby, £5.75 a week. Now, Ashby's an okay player. He's a pretty versatile player, actually. So, again, I'm quite happy to bring him along for the ride. I want to keep it fairly stable. I want to bring in a lot of new players, don't get me wrong. But if we can keep the core of the team the same, then I think that will be really, really beneficial. He was on £5.75 a week. This is awesome. So we're gaining some wage budget here. Then we start to get to the more questionable decisions now. I'm looking at Joe Smith, Oliver Barrington. They're not particularly going to do anything. Nkoob is staying, definitely. Elliot Osborne didn't do anything, so I'm going to set for release for him. Joe Hardy was rubbish as well. So we're going to set him for release. Conrad Logan is retiring, so that's fine. Buchan, again, didn't do a great deal, did he? The only thing I'm looking at with Buchan is he has got 4-star potential, potentially. And he's only on £170 a week. So let's see. If we can get him in for 170 quid a week, I'm quite happy to go with that. I'm quite happy to give him another year on that. Nah, he's not interested. That's fine. So Jay Buchan, he can go. Dominic Smith, bit of a versatile player, but he is leaving anyway. I'm certainly not bothered about him. Now, Cole Hall, a little bit of an enigma, this one. Because he does score goals at this level. Not many of them, admittedly. But he does score goals. What's his wage? 275 quid. And he has been here a couple of years. But, yeah, you know what? I'm going to let him go. I think that's the sort of player. He hasn't done that well. Let's let him go. Now, Jordan Cranston is a good left back. Left backs are pretty hard to come by, and look how versatile he is. He's 30 years old. He's played EFL football in the past. I think he is worth another season at the very least. Let's have a little look at his contract. He's on 475. He's happy to take a pay cut, which is brilliant. And obviously without those bonuses, we're going to be in a pretty swell situation, which is lovely. Connor Teal, not bothered about him. Declan Weeks is somebody I'm looking at potentially. 28 years old, has been at Chester a reasonable while. Is the sort of player that you could bring in. He's on 350 quid a week. And being a fringe player, I think I'd quite like to get that down at the very least. Unless he's willing to take the same amount of money, I think we're going to be letting Declan Weeks go. Now I'm going to put that on orange. Yeah, should get him now. Oh, no. Well, there you go. So Declan Weeks, he's going. We won't set him for release because he might change his mind later down the line. Now, Billy Fuster, 20 years old. I think definitely a player that's going to come good. I think we got to get him back for another season. I'm going to put him as a squad player, though. He wants to be an important player. That could be a problem. And he wants a fairly hefty wage rise. But are we going to get much better than Billy Fuster in the transfer market? I'm not sure. And Alex Kenyon's already here till next year. So we've got a few contracts coming through. Let's just have a little look at our under-18 squad. There are a few players that are looking pretty tasty down there. It's got to be said. Lloyd Williams being one of them. Horatio Kane. Well, I mean, this is exactly the sort of thing that you want to see lying down in your youth team. Very interesting. Right, let's get him into the senior squad. Let's do the same for Lloyd Williams as well. Harry Charles. Yeah, again another attacking midfielder. Kieran Partington. Let's have a look at him. He looks alright. He looks like he's going to be decent. 6'2". Yeah, let's get him into the main squad as well. Yeah, you can see those in there now. I think that's pretty damn good. We're going to allow those four to play for the reserves for 90 minutes because they're probably not going to be playing much first team football. So let's make sure we keep them playing. Okay, right. I think we're pretty much sorted, aren't we? I think we're sorted. So now we need to basically plan where we're going with this next season. So we definitely need a new goalkeeper, preferably 2 really. So we've got 3 in the squad. We definitely need a centre back or 2 just to bolster that up. I think another right back, another left back. Midfield, we're pretty sorted. You know, I don't think we can get much better in the midfield, but if the right player comes available, that's definitely something we can look to improve. And preferably 2 new strikers, 2 really prolific new strikers. So let's have a little look at the competition. This is what I like to do at the end of the season. Let's have a look at this goals list and see where we are at with contracts for all these guys. So Glenn Taylor, I'm pretty sure his contract, he's got another year. Josh Essen, okay, so he's somebody that we could look at. So he's at Darlington. Let's add him to the shortlist for 3 months. He's had a very, very good season. So Josh Essen, he is. We're going to get a scout report on him as well, just to make sure. Mark Beck, 30-year-old, 27-goal striker. Looks decent, but is signed up to the end of next year. Nathan Delfonazu, former Aston Villa player, yes. and obviously has played all around the Football Leagues, has never really scored many goals. In fact, he scored a third of his goals in the last season for Scarborough Athletic, but is decent, but has another year on his contract. Luke Sharman, this is exactly the sort of player we can look at. He's had a couple of good seasons now. Will he stay filed? I'm not entirely sure. And Khalil Green, 25. What about Ethan Fremantle, 25? Harry Clark, 18 years old. He looks decent. Yeah, he's on loan from Fleetwood, which is interesting. Let's see if we can add him to the shortlist. Kelsey Mooney, he's somebody I recognise. Don't really know why. But 22 goals for him. He looks decent as well. So let's add him to the shortlist. Yeah. And yeah, I think other than that, we're not that bothered about anybody else, but definitely worth keeping an eye on. Morton Gams Pedersen, I'm fairly sure he is retiring at the end of the year, so we can't do anything with him, unfortunately. Even though I'd love to bring him in. But yeah, so, I think quite a few signings. I want to keep them on the young side as well. As I said last year, I don't want to turn Chester into a retirement home, so, we gotta be careful with that. We are going to have, about $5,000 to spend. So that's 10 very good players that we can bring in at £500 a week. And, I think that would be a massive, massive amount of money for us. But, we'll go ahead now and we'll see what sort of players we can get. But very good start to the episode. Well, first signing of the window, and one I am very excited about. It is a 22-year-old centre-back called Sam Sanders. Now, I've paid a little over the odds for him. £525 a week. Will rise to £600 once he's played 5 games, but it was the only way I could bring him in. And he looks pretty good. He's been playing Vanarama National League football for the last couple of years, doing a solid job for York City. York finished mid-table in the Vanarama National League last season. This guy's got the potential to get up into League 2. He's pretty much as good as Harrison Burke, and if we can have 2 Harrison Burkes in the team, that's got to be exciting. And I just love this. He can play striker as well. He's a good old Dion Dublin, isn't he? Look at that. Some excellent attributes there. And I'm hoping that he can be a real success. 22 years old. First signing of the window. Let's just get that confirmed. And there he is. He is in. So, our first signing of the season. Very, very happy about that. He's joining Chester on the 20th of the 5th. He is in on trial at the minute as well. So, that is all good. Let's just see where he fits in. There you go. He comes in as our 3rd best player, apparently. And you've got to be happy about that, And we're building a lovely young squad. Harrison Burke, 21. He's 22. They're going to be at the heart of that. Well, second signing of the window, and it's quite an exciting one again. Another centre-back, David Agbon-Tahoma. Let's be honest. Let's call him a nickname. I'm never going to be able to say that. Set nickname, Davy Aggie. Davy Aggie. That's who he is. Davy Aggie, 22-year-old English centre-back. Very good marking, very good tackling, and is a 6'6" centre-back. So, even though his heading attribute isn't great, he is going to be good on the corners as well. 3.5-star current ability, leading Vanarama North player. Has the potential to be a good League 2 player as well. So, looking forward to utilising him. We've got 3 outstanding centre-backs now, so I'm really, really happy with that. This guy, Jimmy Knowles, he's been on trial for the last month or so. He looks okay, actually. 3-star ability, 4.5-star potential. Was playing for Mansfield last season. Hasn't actually scored too many goals in his career so far. That's kind of where my reservations lie. So I'm going to pass up on him, but yeah, it could well have been something else. We have just brought in another trialist, Sam Graham, 23-year-old centre back. He looks pretty good, not quite as good, admittedly, and was actually playing football last season for Rochdale, not very well. So I might pass up on Sam Graham because I don't think we need another centre back, because we have got Matty Williams in there as well, who we know can perform at this level. So I'd rather have somebody I know I can rely on than go and sign somebody that isn't playing their best football. And is a risk at the end of the day. Joseph Fawkes, he is somebody that I did try and bring in last season on loan. Of course, we had a very good time with him at Kidderminster. It doesn't seem like he's going to be available anytime soon. Who's the other one? Chukawa? What was it? Chukawa? Yeah, Tawanda Shirawa. And he's obviously wanted. He's currently wanted by Leyton Orient on loan. I don't know if we'd be able to bring him in, but I think he'd be a pretty damn good signing if we could. No, they want him to play with higher quality players. Jack Byrne was the other one from years gone by. He went to Northampton and actually had a decent season for them. Played 43 matches, so really, really happy for him. He got his break, which was nice. And Bobby Jones was the goalkeeper from Stockport, I believe. No, his contract is still there. So, yeah, he's played one match for Stockport this year. I don't know if we'd be able to... Oh, we could bring him in on loan. Oh, this could work. That would solve our goalkeeper situation beautifully. Yes. That's fine. Okay, cool. I don't know if he's going to be interested, but we will try nonetheless. But yes, transfer window going well so far. Well, this is a very exciting signing that we have just confirmed. Kelsey Mooney will be joining us, 25-year-old English striker. Not brilliant on the attributes, I must admit, but has scored a shed load of goals for Leamington Spa in the Vanarama North this season. Now, Leamington did actually get relegated, I believe. So to score 22 goals for a relegated side, that ain't half bad. So excited to bring him in. He'll hopefully give us that much needed injection of goals, and at least somebody that we can rely on, which I'm very, very happy about. And Bobby Jones has just confirmed he's joining as well. So he's going to be here till the end of next season. We know that he's a very, very good goalkeeper at this level. Played very well for us back at the Kidderminster, back in the Kidderminster days. Had an okay season for Stockport, playing in their reserve setup last year. So I'm hoping that he can come in and he can do a really good job for us this year. And maybe even sign permanently at the end of it, who knows. But that has sorted our goalkeeper situation out beautifully. And now we can hopefully focus on more and more players. So the way I'm doing it at the moment, just looking at scouted players and trying to work out if any of them are available. Obviously, quite a few of them are players that play for other teams at the moment. Obviously, 1st of July comes about where all of the players get released, and fingers crossed we will be able to see somebody. But we've still got plenty of money left. Obviously, that says £800 per week. But if you go into our finances, our committed spending is only 6,700. So we have got around about $4,000 to play with right now, which is very, very good. Okay, new signing alert. We have brought in TJ Bramble, who was playing for Oldham last season, so was a player in this division, very versatile, can play centre-back, right-back, defensive mid. He can play in the midfield as well. Had an okay season for Oldham last season, so I'm all right with that. Very, very excited to see what he can do. He's in on £550 a week. We are currently spending 7,700. So he's still got about £3,000 in the bank. 4 or 5 more players would be ideal if we look at our squad currently. Let's get rid of the trial players. You can see the squad's starting to beef out a little bit. It's looking very defensive heavy at the moment. It would be nice to bring in 1 or 2 strikers, but it's the availability at the moment. We are really struggling with that. So, yeah, we've got a few players in on trial. DJ Campton Sturridge, I would like to bring him in, but he just wants a little bit too much money at the moment. But I'm hoping if we can keep him on trial, we can give him another contract at the end of the week and see what he can do. But this guy does look pretty good. I would like to get him in. I think he could definitely make the difference. Okay, another new signing. It's Jordan Halliwell has come in, and I'm hoping that we'll get to have a little look at him in a second. There's quite a few players that we've tried to sign. It's not going to plan. Other teams are doing their business as well. It's very tricky to compete against, National League teams, League Two teams. Well, we're just not going to win that battle. But Jordan Halliwell has come in, 22 years old, English right back or left back. Can also play defensive mid, wing back, centre mid, even centre defence if we need him. He's come in from Barnsley. Played on loan last season at Esbjerg in Denmark, which is a interesting choice. Seems okay. He's got decent attributes. I think will be all right as a versatile player. Doesn't look like we're going to get Footy back, so I'm hoping that Halliwell will be good for him. To replace him. Tried to bring in Will Jarvis, this guy. He's just joined Hartlepool. There was lots of players in for him, and we couldn't get him. The other player that we were looking at was this Sturridge guy. Doesn't seem to be... Oh, Daniel Sturridge is a free agent. I somehow don't think he'll fancy us, but we could have a look. I just couldn't get him to talk, but he is talking again now, actually. Let's see. 950 quid. It's a lot of money for us. But I do think he would tear up the league. That's the problem. So let's add in some incentives for him. This is just something I do generally for players that I think are going to be an absolute hero. I put in a load of these bonuses and hope for the best that they won't get used up, basically. But I don't think it's going to make any difference. There you go. I just cannot get that any lower. So we got to put that on orange, I think. And we got to try and incentivize him here. Right. This is our last chance. I don't know why I can't. Is it because I think the bonuses are too high. I mean, I suppose we can add a goal bonus in there. Should we add a £200 goal bonus in? I think the bonuses are too much. I think that's what's happened here. Yeah, there's for some reason there's there we go. Let's try that. Nah, he doesn't want it. Right, well, we'll try. Let's see if Daniel Sturridge wants to join us on trial. No. Where's he been playing? Central Coast Mariners. Surely he's not going to want to join. No. That would be funny, though, wouldn't it? Goodness me. Okay, another signing, Andre Brooks, a 21-year-old midfielder, that says, but mainly we're bringing him in for his left-back ability. Very, very good player, actually. Decent all-rounder. 3.5-star ability, 5-star potential. Could be a potential League Two player in the future. Has actually played Championship football in the past, believe it or not. Yeah, very excited about that one. Not too much on the wage budget either, £500. So we are very much happy about that. So that's a good one. And another signing now with Danilo Orsi Dadamo. Danilo Dadamo. Orsi. Hopefully he's awesome. That's all I can say. Has been okay in the past. You know, has scored goals at this level. Scored goals at Vanarama National level as well. Hoping that he's going to be okay. 28-year-old striker of a similar ilk to Angle, really. So yeah, we've brought him in. I'm hoping that he will be pretty decent, actually. Speaking of Angle, he's got an issue. Let's see. Let's just say he's not gonna affect your playing time, because he's probably not. You know, Angle was a bit of a fringe player. Look at that, by the way. 13-0 victory. He scored a hat-trick. This guy looks okay as well. Sean Mikalski. And I am just a little concerned about him, though, in terms of his contract. I mean, if we could bring him... Oh, he's not. Oh, yeah, that's right. I did try and sign him, but he wanted far too much money, really. So, yeah, we just said bye-bye to him. But fingers crossed, we're still going all right here in pre-season. A couple of more signings, and hopefully we'll be there. Well, we have finally made it to the first day of the season. It's been a very good pre-season, actually. If we have a look at the matches in a little bit, no more signings to tell you of at the moment, although we will be hopefully making 2 or 3 more signings in the summer window. If you look at our finances, we are currently spending £9,500. We've got about £2,000 left, so 2 or 3 more signings to bring in before we finish off our business for the year. I would quite like to keep a little bit of money back just throughout the season in case there is some sort of issue. If our team are absolutely terrible, you know, just give us a little bit of freedom with that. But yeah, looking at the team that I have put together, I think this is a very, very good side that we have put together. Defensively, I think we're good. Going forward, we're hopefully going to be a little bit stronger as well. So Bobby Jones is in between the sticks. We've then got Thomas, Burke, Sanders and Brooks in defence, with Fuster, Kenyon and Glendon continuing in midfield, and Kellen Hickinson, our star man from last season, starting behind our new look strike partnership of Kelsey Mooney and Orsi Dadomo up top. So hopefully that will be a good side to take on Alfreton tomorrow. We have got a very decent opening fixture list. We've got away to Boston United, it's home to Braintree, Kidderminster in the first 5 there, Oldham Athletic in there as well. So we should have a very good idea of where we should be going forward. South Shields are now in the Vanarama North as well. Exciting to see them in there. We'll definitely bring them in on one of the episodes. My hometown, of course, and Journeyman alumni as well. We were manager of South Shields back in I think it was FM19 and had 3 very, very good seasons there. They're managed by Kevin Phillips, and they've had a very good pre-season as well. I mean, you look at some of their opponents, and they've done a decent job against those. But what's very exciting for me is we've went to Football League Carlisle and absolutely hammered them 4-1. Actually, they're in the Vanarama National League now, believe it or not. But we absolutely hammered them. Hammered Bolton under 21s, Cardiff Met Uni, and a couple of other sides as well. We're looking decent. If we look at the season preview, they are backing us to finish 4th in the league come the end of the year. Obviously, it was similar with Kidderminster last year as well, but I do believe we have recruited very, very well and very cheaply as well. South Shields are predicted to finish second, so really looking forward to seeing how they do in the Vanarama National League North. I don't think they're going to get relegated, so they should be in this game going forward now. So hopefully we can push them on to bigger and better things as well. That'll be really exciting. To see Kidderminster, they're in 6th. They've had a very interesting window. Interestingly, they did sign that Jimmy Knowles guy that we were looking at. Ethan Fremantle on the right-hand side there. Tom Leake still there. Caleb Richards still there. Jaden Redmond now a defensive mid. So interesting to see so many of their players in there that we signed. And, of course, they're the big rivals this season. A notable name we obviously do not see on there is Mr. Morton Gamps Pedersen, sorry. He would have been released at the end of last season, I believe. Yeah, because he's now unemployed. What a shame. But can we potentially bring him in to our setup? No, we cannot. What a shame. What a shame. Nathan Lowe, by the way, he's knocking around on the free transfers. We may try and get him on a little trial, see what he's like. Reece Greenidge as well, decent player. I think could be somebody we could look at. Nobody else in there particularly that I'd be bothered about, but definitely worth keeping an eye on. Kidderminster, they're apparently going to be featuring near the top. Filder looking good as well. What's interesting is the likes of Spennymoor dropping from their previous heights of good seasons of old, and yeah, looking forward to seeing how it goes. Our new boys this year, Altrincham and Blythe, they've dropped down into our league this year. Very interesting to see that. Of course, 2 decent teams from the league above. And if you look at that league, Hartlepool and Carlisle have come down. So it could well be a very interesting year in the league above. Up into League 2, you can see Forest Green, Crawley, MK Dons and Cheltenham. They've dropped down into League 2 now. But overall, I'm very, very happy with our summer, and I hope you're looking forward to tomorrow when we get it all underway with our first 2 matches of the season against Alfreton and Boston next time out. I really cannot wait, and hopefully you guys are looking forward to it too. If you've enjoyed this episode, then give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more FM23 videos, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.